This is a story about collecting art. I have a simple philosophy about collecting art, and that is, a long time ago, I picked a category, which is pen and ink, and I picked a couple of subcategories, which I wanted something in nature, something that involved human development of some kind, human construction, and something that would have people in it. I do stray from those minor criteria a little bit, but generally that's what I'm looking for as I go out and about into the world and pass through art galleries occasionally and antique stores occasionally and Goodwill, St. Vincent de Paul type stores occasionally, and I keep an eye out for art that fits that category that I just described. One of the first things I ever did in this category was I found a picture in my mother's photo album of her parents' farmhouse from when I was a little kid. It's not the house that she lived in. They moved from there upriver a little ways to a place that was called Carly, Washington. And this was their farmhouse. And I had the pen and ink drawing of it done by an artist in Portland that I had met. And she did a wonderful job of it. And this hung, I gave it to my grandparents, and it hung in their house for years and years and years until they passed away. One of the next things that I got was something to give to my father as a gift, pen and ink of a guy chiseling the maidenhead on the front of a ship, and the name of the thing, as you can see, is Fish and Chips. When I was on my honeymoon up in Port Townsend, Washington, all those years ago, going in and out of some antique stores up there, I bumped into this one. And this one is one of my most favorite of all the things that I have. It immediately struck me as an elderly couple. Their family had been there with them for dinner. Everybody else had gotten up and left the table, and here Grandpa and Grandma are leaning against each other in an embrace, enjoying the warmth of the family and the wine, and a little cherub is swept in and is sipping some of the leftover wine. I really viewed that one as omen of my future. My future turned out much, much different than that. I'll never see any grandchildren as far as I can tell, and I don't have a spouse, and so much as I dreamed of it, I didn't cause it to actually come to pass. My mother-in-law, when I was younger, heard of my interest in such artwork, and one time when she was up at the Multnomah Falls Lodge, she discovered a series of paintings or pen and ink drawings that were being sold as a series, and she bought me a series. I think it was 6 or 7 drawings like this of waterfalls. This one represents Multnomah Falls. So there's a sketch of the falls, then there's an interpretive sketch along the edge there. Each of them are like that. I've enjoyed them very much. She gave me the original prints, and I had them framed. And as I say, I've really enjoyed those over the years. That was very thoughtful of her, and I've always been grateful that she did that. Here are a couple in a row that I don't remember at all where I got them, but they fit my criteria. This one stretches it a little bit because I don't actually see any people in it, but there is a little development around the edge of the lake over there. The next one looks like it's by the same artist, and it looks like some people on the road perhaps walking into that same little village we could see in the distance in the other one. One time when I was down in Ventura with some people that I really enjoyed and was having a wonderful time with, we were wandering around and went into a little secondhand store, and there was this pen and ink of a scene in Boston, a couple of people on the sidewalk. That fit my criteria perfectly, and so I collected that and have enjoyed it very much. When my parents moved out of their house, my mom had died, my father moving into a retirement center, my dad left this behind. This is something that he collected in 1990. My father was in an artillery unit stationed in Folkestone, southern England, and they were shooting down the German doodlebugs that were coming across the channel into England. And on the back of this one, my father had wrote, "A gift from the Royal Artillery Association of Dover, England, June 27th, 1990. So my father had been over there along with my mom, and they were visiting and attending events over there that were reminiscent of war battles and whatever. And they gave my dad this, and so I collected it when the house was being emptied and put it into my collection. There's a soldier there, there's the White Cliffs of Dover, and it fit my collection very well. I'm very happy to have that. About a month ago, a friend of mine called me up and said, "Hey, I've been doing a lot of doodling lately, and I'm got a place to hang my artwork, my doodles, and there's going to be a show in March. Can you come to it?" And I looked at my calendar and discovered, nah, I've got a conflict, Tina. I can't go to that. She said, "Well, I'm going to hang it on a certain day, and then it's about 5 days later that the official show happens there. So you can drop by in the meantime and take a look." So I did just that. Well, I got to the pub where her art was hanging, and of course I had my criteria in mind. I wonder if I can find something Tina did that fits the pen and ink. Of course, she said it was pen and ink, that had some kind of city scene or urban or human development of some kind and a person or two in it. And sure enough, number 32 on the wall was this piece, which fit my criteria perfectly. So over the years, I've had a lot of fun collecting this and that. Some of the artwork I get is colored art. It's not just pen and ink. If a neighbor, for example, has an art show in town and I go to the art show and I find that she's hung some things there and I find something I like, I buy that to be good and neighborly and enjoy the art. And that is true. It's hanging on my wall, something Sarah, my neighbor, did. But over time, as I wander around, I'm always looking for these pen and ink scenes with some kind of human development and humans in it, and I've enjoyed it very much. And I've got a bunch more. I've got a small gallery that I keep all this artwork in, and I can go in there and enjoy that and look at it and reminisce about where it came from, when I got it, who I got it from, and what it means to me. Over the years, I don't know that my little collection has any value to it, but if a person wants to dedicate themselves to it and pick a topic that's a really useful topic, I read stories of people who over their lifetimes collected art of a certain topic and bought it when the artists were new and young coming out, but it fit their topic that they were sticking to, and they collected and collected and collected, and by the time they retired in life, they had a multi-million-dollar art collection. So there are great possibilities in collecting art like this. So make something up and go play is my motto. Make something up in the world of art that you think is interesting and catches your fancy, and when you see something that meets your criteria, take it home with you. That supports the artist and supports your collection and having fun in the last third and best third of your life.